Coming up on OU Nightly, severe weather is threatening campus. I'll have the updates on the timing and what to expect from these storms coming up.
Remembering the Murrah Building bombing 30 years later. How the OU Daily kept the world informed when all eyes were on Oklahoma. And a story from a survivor's family, keeping the memory of the tragedy alive. This is OU Nightly.
The largest team of collegiate meteorologists is tracking the chances for severe weather. Thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Julia Roberts.
And I'm Olivia Hayes. Julia, the big question is, what does this mean for the holiday weekend ahead?
Olivia, luckily, OU Nightly meteorologist Scotty Allen is here to tell us what to expect and when. Scotty?
Yeah, that's right. We're going to be having lots of storms for this holiday weekend. Right now, your Krampus Weather Authority is tracking storms. There's currently no storms developed right now in the Oklahoma region, but right now the Storm Prediction Center has issued a slight risk for the state of Oklahoma from Lawton all the way to Tulsa. We're having all hazards possible with this. So currently right now in the region, we have temperatures in the 70s in the southeast, but this cold front's coming, as you see with these 60s. And right now with the dew point, you can see right here all this moist air, that energy for these storms down here in the south, and that dry air, that's going to be what's going to be initiating these storms. So we're going to be continuing to track those. But coming up, I'll be having more on that evening severe weather threat and an Easter washout and more rain on the way next week. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Scotty. We are continuing to share stories of April 19th, 1995, and remember those who were killed, those who survived, and those who changed forever.
OU Nightly reporter Abigail Franklin is live outside of Gaylord College, where a piece of that fateful day sits right here at OU. Abigail.
Well, ladies, that piece of that fateful day is a sapling from the original survivor tree planted right here behind me on our Gaylord courtyard. It's a beautiful reminder for students here at OU, as tomorrow marks 30 years since April 19th, 1995, when the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building was bombed. A remembrance ceremony is usually held on April 19th every year to honor those victims, but unfortunately, due to weather, it has been moved indoors. We do know that it is going to be at First Church, and the remembrance ceremony will be held at regular time, which will be at 8:30. Our reporters have been working for the past month to share stories of light as we approach April 19th, 1995, and that day still echoes through time. Here at OU, we're sharing stories about how it affected journalists here at OU. OU Nightly reporter Cariana Gamboa tells us how journalism was changed forever.
The OU Daily pioneered basically the first news website and how to cover news digitally. And I didn't even know that story.
A panel at Gaylord College shining light on a story many have never heard. Student journalists from the University of Oklahoma reporting from ground zero moments after the 1995 bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. The OU Daily creating the first online news coverage in the world.
All of the amazing photography and the fearless reporting from people like Michelle, we were able to place that online beginning that night.
A news website created to update the public about the bombing. Michelle Strain was one of the first OU Daily student reporters on the scene.
It just changed my life. I like to say that it was like going from a 20-year-old sheltered, naive girl to a grizzled journalist in the course of one day.
The OU Daily remembering the bravery of those students.
What they did that day is absolutely extraordinary. They set the standard for college media. They set the standard for national media, and it is an honor to be a part of that organization 30 years later.
The panel just days before the 30th anniversary, serving as a powerful reminder of the unforgettable impact they had.
So to be here 30 years later and be asked, first of all, to speak on a panel like this was totally humbling and such an honor for me. It's really overwhelming and wonderful, and kind of completes this full circle moment of my life.
CNN would create the first commercial news website 4 months later, the New York Times 5 months after that. OU students acting ahead of their time, pioneering the next era of journalism. Cariana Gamboa, OU Nightly.
Well, thanks, Cariana, for that story there. We're going to continue our coverage here with more stories of light. On April 19th, Jace Kirk experienced what no child should ever have to experience. OU Nightly reporter Arena Mkhitaryan has the story.
He didn't hear the blast, just saw his mother's teary eyes at the classroom window. It was a warm spring Wednesday in Oklahoma City. 30 years ago, before the sirens, 6th grader Jace was focused on a math test.
Mr. Cunningham asked me to step out in the hall, and he said, "Jace, there's been an explosion in the building where your dad works."
His father worked on the 4th floor of the Murrah building. At 9 a.m., he stepped away to use the restroom. That saved his life.
Every other person in my dad's office passed away that day. He was the only survivor.
That night, the family gathered in the living room. He told them everything once.
My dad sat us down and he said, "I'm going to tell you everything that happened, and you can ask me any question you want. And after that, I never want to talk about it again."
Jace was only a kid when the world shifted under his feet. Today, he stands steady for the next generation.
I know that educators have impact on their students, and I want to use my influence to make sure that the students who are coming after me have every door and every opportunity opened for them.
At the memorial, the 9-3 gate marks what came next, when Oklahomans chose to care, rebuild, and remember. That's the kind of community he grew up with.
It's the moment that Oklahomans didn't run away from the sound but ran to it. It represents healing, but that healing went deeper than just the scar that was created that day.
Dad is coming home. Not everyone got to hear these words, but he did, and that changed everything. This is Oklahoma Renaissance. Now he's building lives in a city that rose from rubble. This is Arina Mkhitaryan, reporting from Oklahoma City for OU Nightly.
Principal Kirk's story is one of so many, showing us how Oklahomans, continue to rise in strength. Governor Kevin Stitt has ordered today, starting tomorrow, that all flags be lowered to half-staff for the next week in honor of the victims of April 19th. On Monday, we're going to bring you full coverage of the ceremony live at 4:30. But for now, reporting live from the Gaylord Courtyard, Abigail Franklin, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Abigail. New information is coming out in the shooting at Florida State University.
What we know and what we're learning when we return.
And POTUS pushback continues in the return efforts of the Maryland man accidentally deported.
What elected officials are saying, coming up on OU Nightly.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
This evening, after a student kills 2 people and injures 5 others on the Florida State University campus Thursday, Tuesday, health officials at the Tallahassee Hospital says those hospitalized are expected to survive.
All 6 of them today are in stable condition, one which is in fair condition given a serious injury. We do feel that all will make a full recovery.
Authority says the 20-year-old suspect will be taken to jail once he's released from the hospital. Once he recovers, he will be transported to a local jail. A vigil was held today by a group called Students Demand Action, honoring the lives impacted by the shooting.
And they have no interest in that prisoner. That prisoner's record is unbelievably bad.
President Trump doubling down on the deportation of a Maryland man sent to El Salvador. The Trump administration says Abrego Garcia is a member of a violent Venezuelan gang, a claim his family denies earlier this month. Federal officials admitted Garcia should not have been deported. The Supreme Court then ordered the administration to facilitate his return. In response to the ruling, Attorney General Pam Bondi said Garcia is, quote, not coming back. Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen visited Garcia yesterday in El Salvador to ensure his well-being.
In a weekend of preparations and celebrations ahead.
People across the country and right here in Oklahoma are going the distance. Find out more after this break.
And I'm here with OU Nightly's team of meteorologists currently tracking severe weather. I'll have the updates on the potential of severe weather later tonight coming up.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early when it's more curable.
Sounds good, guys. Can I get a little space here?
Biologically, no.
Okay.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
All right, look at you taking the stairs. Who are you?
We're your lungs.
We are proud of you for quitting smoking, but you still may be at risk for lung cancer.
A routine cancer scan can detect it early when it's more curable. Good to know. Well, I gotta go somewhere.
So do we.
Listen to your lungs. Get a routine screening that could save your life. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Back to OU Nightly. Currently, right now, we don't have any severe threats in Oklahoma right now. We got just clouds and spotty showers throughout the state right now. Currently here in Norman, we got 69 degrees, and we have that humidity is around 59%, so that's plenty of moisture for these storms to develop, as you see with those clouds. But currently right now, the Storm Prediction Center has issued a slight risk of severe weather with all hazards possible from Lawton all the way up to Tulsa. And we've got the timing of these storms, so that could be anywhere between 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. for the Oklahoma City Metro and western Oklahoma. And then those storms will be continuing out throughout the night, but between 8 p.m. and all the way up into early morning hours tomorrow in southeastern Oklahoma. So for right here in Oklahoma and Norman, we've got the threat of low threat for tornadoes, so there's a potential that we could have a tornado. We'll be continuing to monitor that. But right now, the main threats are hail. Up to 4 inches of hail is possible with some of these storms. And we've got some heavy winds that will be possible in later evening storms, more closer to midnight. And then lots of training storms. So lots of storms after storm after storm, bringing this flooding threat. So right now, we've got an extreme flooding threat that we're going to be continuing to monitor. So right now with the Futurecast, we've got storms that will be developing around 6 p.m. and around Lawton and coming up. So right now around 8 p.m. hitting Norman. We got a supercell right here, and then these storms are just going to be firing up throughout the night, just bringing wind and that wind threat around midnight, and then these storms will be continuing to form with rain and more rain and more rain. So that flash flooding threat is really going to be high. So we've got that slight risk for severe weather down there in southeastern Oklahoma tomorrow, and right over the Norman area, but that severe threat for tornadoes, wind, hail is kind of on the lower end for tomorrow. But the wind, the rain is going to be there. Right now, we've got the flash flooding outlook, a moderate flash flooding risk for the Norman area and most of southeastern Oklahoma. We've got that lots of rainfall, so try to be off the roads tomorrow. As we've got right here, the potential for 2 inches or more from Lawton all the way up to Tulsa and Miami. We've got 65 to 85% chance, almost a guaranteed chance of greater than 2 inches of rain in most of the state of Oklahoma. So those roads are going to be flooding because that rain has got nowhere to go. So try to be off the roads if you can tomorrow. And as we go into Sunday, the storms are going to be going through, and possible storms in your early Sunday morning. But hopefully for your Easter, there should be in the clear, so you enjoy your Easter after all these storms, and keep safe throughout the weekend as we can, and we'll keep you updated, your Campus Weather Authority. But for right now, we've got those chances of storms tonight and into tomorrow, then storms early Sunday morning, and then we got a break Monday with those storms and 70s, but then more rain on the way for most of the rest of next week. So that's just, we're going to be continuing to monitor these storms. Definitely that hail risk is the main threat, though.
Yeah, Scotty, thank you for monitoring those. With such an extreme threat for flooding, what are ways that people can prepare?
Definitely just stay home. Only go out if you absolutely need to, but try to just avoid that because flooded roadways, you just can't, you don't know.
All right, thank you so much, Scotty.
Thanks, Scotty. So double knot those laces as the Boston Marathon is right around the corner.
Organizers say significant security measures will be in place for the 129th annual event. Backpacks, coolers, props, weapons, and drones are not allowed. Oklahomans will also be on the run this weekend for the 25th Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon. The Memorial 5K, Senior Marathon, and Kids Marathon will kick things off starting tomorrow.
And coming up in the world of sports, Sooner fans can learn about a new OU commit on the diamond.
And about one OU team that is flipping out in Funkytown. We'll have a live report from Fort Worth, Texas, coming up in Big Friday Sports.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hello everyone, I'm Aiden Tyler and we have a packed Big Friday Sports for you.
And I'm Hallie McPherson. The OU women's gymnastics team is on the hunt for their 7th national championship down south in Cowtown. Our sports reporters Darby McCormick and Peyton Davis are live in Fort Worth with the details.
Well, howdy, y'all. We are in the Fort Worth Stockyards today after OU women's gymnastics was able to corral their way into the national championship final. Peyton, it's a big improvement from last year.
That's right, Darby. That disappointing finish to last season was the first time in 12 years they did not advance to the championship final.
And OU head coach KJ Kindler knows that finish exactly 1 year ago from today actually had a major impact on the team in many ways.
They had a heavy weight on their shoulder because of the pressure that has been put on them, not by their teammates, not by themselves so much, but the public and the media. And so I'm super proud of them for being able to fight through that, because I think it has been a very hard fight.
Despite the wild ride of this past season, senior Jordan Bowers says that it's been an opportunity for growth, both individually and as a team.
Everything we've accumulated this year, we've had such an incredible season, and we've learned and we've grown so much from it all. So just taking all of that, doing what we know how to do and not making any moment bigger than yourself, and just having so much fun and doing it together and side by side.
And tomorrow at 3 p.m., we'll see if the team's able to lasso in their 7th national championship trophy. Reporting from the Fort Worth Stockyards, Darby McCormick, Peyton Davis, back to y'all in the studio.
Thanks, Darby and Peyton. The OU men's gymnastics team looked to qualify for the NCAA championships earlier today against some tough competition. Emery Donnelly led the way on the floor, and the Sooners would score a 323.460, and that was good enough for second place and qualification. That's right, Sooner fans. The Sooners are going to the flippin' championship.
And the OU softball team started their 3-game series against the Mississippi State Bulldogs at 4 today. The Sooners look to get back in the win column at Devon Park and then continue at Loves Field.
And the OU baseball team is in Columbia, Missouri, and last night the Bats were roaring against the Tigers. Mizzou's pitching staff could not cage the Sooners' offense as they put up 17 runs on 15 hits. Junior Trey Gamble had 2 home runs and 6 RBIs in the 17-4 Sooner win, and the Sooners just took Game 2 17-7.
And sticking with Skip's squad, OU baseball adds on another name to the roster. Our sports reporter Chris Holman has more on a local commit with famous family ties.
Westmore, home of the Jaguars, and 2026 OU baseball commit Josiah Kemp, who's the nephew of former MLB star Matt Kemp. So it's safe to say that his love for the game runs in his DNA.
I think it started whenever I was very young. My uncle was playing in the league, and every day or anytime I could go on vacation, I'd go and watch his games, and it brought like a love for the sport, and I think that's why I really played the sport today.
Watching his uncle play not only instilled his love for America's pastime, but also helped shape him into who he is today.
Josiah is very passionate about baseball. He's a leader by example. And he's one of the cooler things about him is, he has a lot of skill, but his humility is pretty cool to see in a guy and a player of his caliber.
The University of Oklahoma hasn't won a national championship in over 30 years, something the Jaguars did just this past season. That's something that Josiah says he wants to carry over with him in his journey to OU.
I think, just carrying the same traits that we did to win the state championship. We did a lot of wisdom talk, and I like that. I can, refer that to Skip. I think a lot of those talks that we had behind closed doors where nobody saw or videos or nothing, I think that really helped us and shaped us to where we got to be a state championship. And I think that can really help with the national championship as well, because the mental side is the biggest part of the game.
Reporting from Westmore High School, Chris Holman, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Chris. Stick with us on Big Friday Sports. More sports are next.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Park in Oklahoma City. It should be a nice day for softball, 73 degrees and cloudy skies. Possible chance of rain. I'll pitch it on to you guys at the desk.
Well, thanks, Scotty. I got to talk to two freshman football players on OU's offensive line who have a history together, from Louisville, Texas to the Palace on the Prairie. Michael Fasusi and Sean Hutton were friends at Louisville High School, but also members on the left side of the Fighting Farmers offensive line. Now the two are on the offensive line for the Oklahoma Sooners football team, something that they are both extremely grateful for.
It's a blessing, man. That's all it is, and at the same time, it's also an opportunity, and that's everything here is an opportunity.
It's been amazing being with him these past 4 years in high school, and then of course getting to transition to college with it. It's amazing to be there with my best friends.
And the friendship between the two coming to college is something that Sean Hutton didn't realize would be invaluable.
If I'm going through something and struggling up here, I could just go right next door because we're in the same room. That's probably something that's helped me out a lot more than I would have thought about before I even came up here.
The two friends have formed their friendship around football, but there's another important thing that has built their friendship, and that is their shared faith. And they hope to bring this faith they've had since childhood to the rest of the Sooner football team.
Keep gaining my knowledge and my wisdom, keep being a man of God, keep developing on that.
Football is just an opportunity where I can leverage to reach others, one, through Christ and be able to help them find Christ, but two, just an opportunity to just share my abilities God's given me and go out there every time on the field, just go perform, you know. It's just amazing to be out there. Football is like my best friend.
And Hutton's other best friend, Michael Fasusi, says there's one thing Sooner Nation can look forward to from him in the offensive line.
Being a dog on that field, man, that's what they're going to expect too, and just dominating.
Reporting from Owen Field, Aiden Tyler, OU Nightly. And the Oklahoma City Thunder will learn their first-round opponent tonight. The Thunder are 1-3 against the Dallas Mavericks, but all those games were before Luka Doncic was traded. OKC has not lost to the Memphis Grizzlies since December 7th, 2022. Well, thank you for watching Big Friday Sports. I'm Aiden Tyler.
And I'm Hallie McPherson. Be sure to watch OU Nightly weekdays live at 4:30. Good night.
Love the hustle, Cliff. Who are you?
Your lungs.
We're quite proud of you.
Even though you quit smoking years ago, you may be at risk for lung cancer.
Okay. Well, with the routine screening, you can detect it early.